Hello, all you fine and wonderful people. It's Jack again, back doing his one of his crazy ideas. Apparently, according to a lot of people. So, this is going to be a rundown of all my parts because once they start going into their tube, nobody's going to see them. So, let's just outline them. By the way, these are the intakes for said ballast. That's where the hoses get attached to, so you can see where they go to there. I don't know if you can see it in there, but they got a big entrance. Yeah, you can barely see it. So, this is the ballast. 3 prints made this. 2 to hold the syringes in the actual actuator, 1 to hold the piston as well as the, well, I guess all the pistons really. That's all one piece. It gets mounted. It has its own dedicated power supply. And that gets hooked to the middle piece. The middle piece is set up with a servo and a three-way rocker switch, momentary, so that it turns on and instantly goes back to the same spot, so it turns off right away. Alright, that's the first one. That one's all hooked up into this little receiver. And then I have the throttle body there that goes into this back motor. And then there's another one here you've probably seen. It goes around and that attaches to the servo, which then in turn controls the it's all hooked in right now, so I just don't have any batteries because I put them onto charge. But onto this, which is its rudder, and there's its propeller right there. All nice and neat. This is from a computer fan. All I did was take it out, obviously modified it a little bit so that it would fit and not rub against the parts that were in there, because it was a tight fit getting all that in there, but it works. And there's another one here. This one goes to the back end, but this one goes to the front end, and that right there, that's the big secret. That's what I'm going to tell you about after it's all done. That's a wagon wheel. Those are really good. Yummy. But anyways, I'm going to wrap a layer of multi-purpose grease around these seams right here so that water doesn't get in, because I've been trying my best to get this whole thing waterproof, but it's water. It will find a way, because that's what its job is. But yeah, this big old secret right here, once I show you what's underneath and where it goes to, because there's a whole separate piece that has to get put on there, and that's the big secret. That's why I'm doing all this, because otherwise everything else you've seen here, you've been like, yeah, pretty standard, pretty self-explanatory. Well, this is all the stuff that is already on there. This is what I have to do in order to show what it's like right now, and then I add what I want to do to it, which hopefully, fingers crossed, makes it better, because that's the whole point. But reading up on what I've been doing and seeing experiments that have been done and the results that they've received and things like that. Let's put this down a bit. Yeah, I can't get a good view on it. But seeing everything that they've done and all those wonderful things, I'm fairly certain that it's going to be an improvement. How much of an improvement remains to be seen, but there will be an improvement. I mean, this one here, I did a water test and it pushed water very well, but as to whether or not it'll work with the front end, that's the big question. Wagon wheel, good wagon wheel, so good. In fact, you know what? Yeah, actually, I noticed it there. Now I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna eat that. Yes, there's gonna be a couple of seals done. I'm gonna drop it in the bathtub and see if it floats for a start. If it doesn't float, well, right on. You'll work something else out about how to make it float. But yeah, that's the joy of prototyping, right? You get to find out what's going to go on. So, but in recap, there is one motor in the back here that controls the propeller, right? And then there's this rudder, which is controlled by this servo, okay? And then this centerpiece here, this servo, which is connected to this wonderful piece of machinery. It's the ballast. We'll call it the ballast. Okay, and there's two relays for what run the motors. That's there so they don't spin out of control, and also so they have somewhat braking system to them. But all properly labeled. It's going to be a good fun show. Let's just hope that it'll be something I can enjoy doing over and over and over again. Let's see. By the way, have any of you ever seen what happens when you put model rockets inside a remote control car? Because after this one's all done, I'm going to show how I did that too. So, stay tuned. That's what's coming up next. But for now, I'm going to put some grease on this and go and give it a quick test. I'm thinking I'll probably record that too. So, stay tuned. See you again soon. Stay safe.